Hey, 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 beautiful people, beautiful souls. I'm coming back at you. I'm feeling a lot better today. Today is day 4 of being home from the hospital. Let's see. Had the procedure Monday, came home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, day 4, right? So I'm in my 4th day of recovery and I'm feeling pretty good. I haven't had any major issues, nothing at all, in no major pain, no major discomfort. Although my doctor prescribed me medication, narcotics, I didn't pick it up. I simply left that at the Walgreens and brought home the Motrin. I can deal with that, and some tablets for passing gas. However, I have Tylenol here, so in case I get a little discomfort in my belly, I'll take that. But I'm not with all the narcotics. I just can't do it. I remember when I had my knee surgery last winter, last January 2022. I took Norco maybe a couple of times. I did not like that feeling at all. It had me feeling real nauseous, real out of it, slurred speech. I couldn't walk, and it was just not a good combination for me. I just stopped taking it total cold turkey, stopped taking it because number one, I didn't want to get addicted to it. Although it took the pain away, I just did not like the after effect. And so I just resorted back to the Tylenol, and that helped. It was just as good. I just stayed on top of the doses and just made sure I stayed on top of the pain so I wouldn't feel any pain. And I got over by using Tylenol. So now I'm doing the same thing, and I only had Tylenol on, I believe, Wednesday. I didn't have any pain medication yesterday. I had a little discomfort on Wednesday, and I took Tylenol before I went to bed and woke up. I was feeling perfectly fine, and I haven't had any discomfort since. So I'm just kind of like just holding it out. I'm not going to even put myself on a pain medicine schedule, because if I'm not having any discomfort, I don't see any need to be taking medication. It's just like too much. But anyway, I'm sitting here before I came on live online to record this little short video. It's going to be really short. I'm watching TV, watching Windy City Live with Val Warner, and she's interviewing this lady about menopause. The conversation is about menopause. And menopause is such an interesting topic that people do not like talking about, women, because it's us women that don't want to talk about it. I'm real open and open-minded. I'll talk about anything. This is why I'm here now, to talk about my procedure. But let's talk about this menopause thing first. She was saying that there are several symptoms of menopause. And they're like, she thought it was like 30 or 40 symptoms, that ways that you can tell that you're going into menopause. And then there's a lot of misconception about menopause. The main misconception is that young women think that they can't get menopause, but this lady is saying that menopause can hit you as early as 35, and they call that perimenopause. So let me just speak from personal experience. I'm at the ripe old age. I'm past 55. I'm past 60. I'll be 62, I believe. Why am I saying I believe? Sometimes I forget my age because I don't feel my age. I don't look my age. I don't act my age. But I don't recall menopause. I don't recall menopause in my life. I really don't. I don't recall any hot flashes. I don't recall any of the night sweats. I don't recall any menopausal symptoms. I'm not lying. I could be just super blessed or so busy till I don't recognize that I'm suffering from menopause. So when I hear ladies talk about night sweats and hot flashes and all these things, I don't remember having any of that. I just don't. I do know that during my 50s, I believe I remember, like maybe I could have been 55 or somewhere along that time span. I'm not really quite sure, like mid 50s, when my period was like wrapping up. I do remember that. Um, But as far as like being associating it with menopause, the symptoms, being sick and all that stuff, I have no recollection at all. So I can say I kind of transitioned from pre-menopause to actual menopause to now, I guess you would call me in postmenopause, and transition without incident. I have not had any type of bad experience with it at all. And so, yeah, that conversation needs to be a topic that needs to be had, because young women need to prepare their minds for it, because the longer you live, you're going to get older. And I think people don't talk about menopause and anything associated with that. Is because it reminds of aging. But you're going, don't you want to age? Don't you want to age? Because if you're saying you don't want to age, then you're saying you're ready to die before you start aging. So as long as you live, you're going to age. And so we need to learn how to embrace aging, because that's a part of life. Aging is a part of life. And so when I think about being in my teens, in my 20s, a lot of my 20s, I always felt like people in their 50s and 60s, that they were old. When I was in my 20s, my mom was in her 40s. I remember very clearly, because my mom was 16 to 17 years older than me. Like my dad will tell me right today, I'm not that much older than you. You're not too far behind me. My dad was 20 years older than me. So him and my mom married when my mom was 16. He was, I think, like 19 or 20 or something like that. But anyways, my parents are no more than 20 years older than me. I know my mom was 16 to 17 years older than me. So I had a young mom growing up. And so my mom didn't teach me about menopause, because the old school people, they keep quiet about a lot of the things. And so a lot of the stuff I learned on my own, firsthand research. I'm a teacher, so I'm a researcher, natural researcher. I find out stuff anyway. I'm just going to find out. You can't hide it from me. I'm going to find out. So if I want to know something, I'm going to start looking for it and start researching until I get an answer. So, but as far as growing up without the knowledge of menopause and how to prep for it, I think everyone, not even if your parents have not shared that part of their existence with you, it behooves you to go out there and get the knowledge on your own, because so that you can know what's happening with your body when it's happening. Because it's nothing like sitting around. I'm hearing people have night sweats and tremors and this and that and all these things. But the woman here that I'm watching on this show, she said that those night sweats and what's the main thing that people usually associate with menopause is hot flashes. That don't even make the top 10 of the symptoms. The main symptom of menopause is exhaustion or fatigue. So if you're feeling exhausted or fatigued, that was the number one symptom. And she surveyed 3,000 women, and she said 71% of the women said that they felt fatigued. So that's major right there. So, yeah, start researching menopause, ladies, so you can understand how you're supposed to be feeling, and when you get these feelings, what's going on with you. I'll do a little write-up and then post it to Instagram on my site. And I'm still working on my blog, my website. My life is kind of like taking 2 steps back, because I had the procedure done Monday. And so everything is a work in progress. I don't rush my life. I just do what I can each day. Day by day, I do what I need to do, and that's what I do. I'm not in a contest or a competition with anybody. I don't care what the other folks out there are doing, how fast they've come around, how fast they're doing. I don't care. I just do my thing at my own pace, and I'll eventually get there. They're working and hustling and punching the clock, and I'm sitting home collecting the pension. I'm retired. I'm living a soft life right now. So everything else that I do is a bonus. So I'll get around to all these things as time will allow, and as I'm feeling good about it in my body. So speaking of my body, I had to have a procedure done. Now I'm going to share the procedure in time. It was a woman's issue for procedure. And so I like to package things nicely. I don't just like to put my business out there like that and just strangers in the night be reading and seeing and listening. And I really don't care, because I don't have anything to be ashamed of. but I made a bold move for myself. And so when I share it in a way where I'm careful about who will receive it, because I want the people to receive it well, and to know how to take care of their own life as a result of me taking care of my life. Okay. And so basically what I'm saying is that I'm going to share my experience, but however I share it, it's going to be in a way where it's going to probably cost you or whomever wants to see it. You have to give me your email and I'll exchange it in a document or something along those lines. I'm trying to figure out how to package it, but just know it's going to be something that's very informative, very helpful. That because this is the only reason why I share. This is the only reason why I talk about it, because I'm not out here spreading my whole life just for the fun of it, because I don't have anything to do. I believe in helping people to become better, to live better, to not have to suffer in ignorance and silence and things like that. So that is my sheer number one goal, is to help other people. And so on day 4 of recovery, I'm feeling quite fine. I'm not myself 100%. I won't even say I'm 50%. I was told not to walk up and down the stairs by my doctor. That's kind of like insanity, because if in order for me to eat breakfast, well, the breakfast is brought to me, but after that I'm on my own until evening. So I do have to go downstairs to get lunch. And then I have to come back upstairs. So that'll be my one trip up, my one trip down. I've been abiding by that. I think I went down twice yesterday and up twice, because I was kind of doing laundry. You know, he said not to pick up anything over 10 pounds. I didn't pick up anything. I just dropped my laundry down, and then I kind of kicked it to the laundry room. Kicked it to the laundry room and kind of like picked up the laundry with my foot, and then put it in the machine, and just did a little work. And I have loads of clothes that I washed last week that are still in baskets. I thought I was going to get better, and I've been getting better, but I need to fold some clothes today. So I'm still trying to get a little housework done, but I'm being as careful as possible with my movements. So that helps me a lot to still continue to do the work that I need to do around the house, and rather than just lying around feeling like a bum or feeling sorry for myself because I can't go outside, which I don't do a lot of anyway. I love being in the house. I'm a house body. Or I can't visit, and I don't really visit anybody. I'll visit my dad every Monday, but now since I'm kind of like recovering, that probably won't happen for a couple of weeks, because I was told not to drive a car for 2 weeks. So in that same vein, when I was coming home from the hospital, I was being driven home and bumps, and now I'm like holding my belly. I'm like, oh my God, this is why the doctor said to stay put and don't do anything rigorous as far as exercising and driving in cars and stuff. So, but on a positive note, I'm doing much better. I made a decision that I'm hoping and praying that will give me longevity, because the decision that I made was based on my mom's illness and her eventual death. And so my mom was here last year in full bloom, just like how I am now. Talking regular, being regular. Don't you like my little hoodie here? This is kind of like how I've been sleeping lately. I sleep at night comfortably. It's supposed to be like 70 degrees in Chicago today, but it's kind of cool in my house, so I feel okay with this on. I don't have my heat on because, like, save on the energy. If I don't have to have it on, I won't put it on at all. But anyway, my mom, bless her soul, rest in peace, Mom. Rest in heaven. I know she's in heaven. Thank God for that. She contracted an illness, and we didn't learn about it until the end of last summer. Like, let's say September 24th or something around that time span. And then from September, October, when we finally got the notice that this is what we're dealing with, and she fought a good fight, and we did everything we could, the doctors and me. I'm going to speak for myself, because although my siblings, everybody did their part, I'm just only speaking for myself, what I did. Okay, because right now I'm not even on talking terms with a couple of the siblings. I think, no, backtrack, one of the siblings, because of whatever that person's issue is. I have really no idea. And I kind of like do, but I don't know the root cause of why people do what they do. If you got a real problem, hey, let's talk about it. And you don't want to talk, you don't want to expose yourself, so that's okay. So anyway, I can only talk about my input. I feel good about how I handled everything concerning my mom's illness and her eventual death. I feel fortunate that I was able to be there for her during her last days. And I didn't know that those were going to be her last days. And I'm choking up because I had plans. We had plans, but even before we knew my mom was sick. Last year I was down because I had the knee surgery. And then after that, I retired in 2022 in September. So I had the knee surgery in January 2022. I was off work all of that time on sick leave. And then when school started back up, I just put in my retirement papers because I'm just like, this is it. This is a good time to go. It's still COVID. We never really came back right into school, in my opinion, with COVID. All the kids and the mask and the sickness and the illness and all these things. And I'm just like, man, I can't handle all this COVID stuff. And then I can't hardly walk up and down these stairs. I think it's a good time to retire. And that's what I did. And so I knew that I was going to retire eventually. I just didn't know when. But when school started back, I'm like, this is a good time to retire. And that's what I did, because I just knew I wasn't going to be able to handle the kids and just still recovering from the knee surgery. And I just care about my mind. I care about my mind, and I'm not going to just be humping and pumping and screaming and yelling and doing all these things and not feeling good physically, and then that's going to make me feel good. Not going to make me feel good mentally. I care about my mind more than I care about money. So I retired. And I'm happy about my decision. But my decision came with, hey, now I can spend time with my mom and my dad, and we can go traveling and doing all these things, because my goal was for me to beg my mom to go on a cruise this year, 2023. And mom like, girl, you all crazy. I'm not getting all that water. So I let her talk, but I was just going to figure out a way to persuade her. But then the illness hit her October 2022. And from October all the way, October, November, December, until her last day, January the 21st, is when she passed. It was so aggressive. She did fight some, but mom didn't have what it took for her body to fight her disease. And so I was very glad when the Lord called her home, because she did not like how she was living, And so living in a sense where she couldn't do anything for herself anymore. So she was dependent on people to bathe her and to move her and to lift her up and to lay her down, and not being able to, trying to see, was mom able to use the bathroom? I think she was, but we had to like walk her to the bathroom and all these things. So mom didn't like that. Mom was a very independent, proud woman, and she didn't have a lot of pain at all. She just had a lot of discomfort and just a lot of not wanting to have to deal with other people helping her, a lot of pride. So she wanted to be independent, and she was losing her independence, and she did not like that. And so therefore, and I prayed with my mom that Friday before she passed. I said, Mom, you can let go when you get ready. Don't just try to stay here for us if you're tired and you're ready to go. Because she kept saying she was tired. I did not understand how can you be tired when all you're doing is lying around in the bed. That's what I said to her one time. And she said, I'm tired of living like this. Somebody got to bring me this, bring me that, do this, do that, take me a bath. I'm tired. Just wake up every morning. This is all I have to look forward to. That's tiresome. So I got it. When she said that, I was able to receive that. And so therefore, I pray with my mom that Friday before she passed. Didn't know that she was going to even pass right after that. Said prayers, Lord, the prayer of salvation, everything. Ask God to forgive you for your sins, put you on the right path and right track. Mom, when you get ready to let go, just do it. And my mom passed the next day. And I've been feeling happy that she's in a better place. She's not suffering anymore. and a little relieved because it is sad. And don't take it selfishly when I say I feel relieved that mom was gone. Felt relief from not having to watch her suffer, but feel relief from having to deal with the drama and the trauma of family members wanting to fight about a fucking schedule, excuse my language, fight about a schedule, whose day is to come over, whose day is it to not come over, who came over the most, who left town without saying they was leaving, who didn't pick up somebody, who didn't fill in the schedule. Oh, Lord Jesus, this is what we had to endure. And so I think a lot of the times things got really ugly within. We had a group chat created where we're all touching bases and saying what we're doing, just a group chat of all the nieces and the siblings, the daughters. And I think my brothers were probably a part of the group chat and touching bases. Like, we're all on the same team here. So let's talk about mom, what's happening in the hospital, what's happening here, what's happening there at the house, who's going to be. So this is how we were able to touch bases and give the updates. That turned into a disaster because people started dropping off, falling off, not participating, won't answer, won't respond, won't sign up on the schedule to do this and that. And see, by me being a teacher, I'm an organizer, I'm a person that's making sure structure is going to happen. And plus, I'm the oldest child of my mother. I felt like, well, let me just go in here and give a little bit of urging. I was urging or trying to persuade using guilt tactics. When I look back at it now, I was guilting a lot of them, saying mom raised us all the same. She watched all our kids. You all should come better than this and that. And those are the things that I was saying. So I guess I must have rubbed a couple people wrong, and it's turned into a group chat of chaos, disorder, and mess. And I don't do mess. I can be messy, but I'm not going to practice being messy. And my mom is sick. It was just totally ridiculous. And every time I think about it, it makes me more angry. So right now I'm going to even cut the conversation about it. But as time went on, when my mom passed, some things were said at the planning of the funeral. It was a lot of disorder with that. Certain people were saying too much when they had no voice at all. They should not have even been talking at all. The only person that should have been talking about the funeral planning is my father, and then whomever he gave permission to help him with everything, which was me. And of course, the other siblings, all input is accepted. But it was just too many people having something to say. Too many people wanting to be messy. All because it's that big mouth, big sister, big mouth oldest daughter that's always trying to plan everything. It was one of those type of deals, y'all. I just keep it real with the people. This is my way of getting things off of my chest. I've not used any names or said anyone's names. If you know my family, if you know this situation, you know. So I won't say names. I don't put people on blast like that. They know who they are. However, sometimes in life we have to step back. Mama's been dead for 4 months now, the 21st of May. Today is May 26th. So Mama's been dead 4 months now. She passed January 21st. So time is moving on without mom. And it's very weird visiting my dad over there because the house still looks like my mom still lives there. Everything is still in place exactly how she left it. And I talked to my dad about, are you going to get rid of mom's things and this and that? I don't try to pressure him or anything. Let him move at his own pace. But anyway, that's a different story. But I did think about my interaction with regard to the group chat. My interaction with regard to the planning of the funeral. I take none of it back because I meant well. But however, I did apologize for my participation in the group chat. If my tone, if you felt I was being harsh or felt like I was targeting certain people, I apologize for that. Basically, I was just trying to get help for mom. That's it. That's it. I'm not a mean person. I don't care about any of that drama. I was basically trying to get help for mom. But when that person want to turn into a smear campaign and turn into, let me show out. This is my chance to show out on Auntie Ann because I don't really like her because she always talking. Okay, you had your fun. God bless you in your endeavors, but that's not what I'm on. Okay, so anyway, I'm getting off task here. I just stopped by to say I'm going to share my procedure. I'm going to share how what I did can help you if you're wanting to help. I know as a young woman, when I was a young woman, we don't think about illness. We don't think about anything because we think that we're invincible. We're going to live forever. We think when we're in our 20s and our 30s, we're young and vibrant. In our 40s, ain't nothing going to ever happen to us. Keep on living. I was thinking that my mom was going to be here forever. I mean, I'm no fool. I know eventually my mom was going to pass like we all are, but I was not anticipating it anytime soon. My mom was in very good health as far as I can see. And now she's gone. And summer's here. And the plans that I had for traveling, mom will not be included. Although she's going to be a part of the planning, a part of the event, should I say. So, yeah. What I'll share with you is what I know that will help you if you're willing to do the work and help yourself. I just wish back in the day that my mom would have done that same thing that I did Monday for herself. And maybe she would be here today. So diseases are running rampant in families. I purchased a book called Eat to Beat Disease. And I've been reading tidbits of that book. I would go get the book. It's over there somewhere. And then I also ordered a couple of other items trying to understand the nature of our bodies and the types of food that we should be eating so we can not set ourselves up for disease. And I'm learning that alkaline diets are the thing to help keep you going. Because basically we're eating all these foods, consuming all these different types of products, processed foods, sugars. All these things are doing nothing but killing our organs and our insides. And we're just enjoying it. And no one's talking about it. It's not even like a conversation around it. And I don't get it. And I mean, I know there were people back in the day that I wasn't even paying attention to at all that was talking about these things. And I don't want to say their names because I don't know how they're connected. But if you know, you know. So now when my mom gets sick, I start paying more attention to foods and then going back to researching things. I'm like, oh, this is what this man was talking about. Oh, that's what that man was talking about. But see, when you're young, you think you're going to be healthy forever. You don't think anything's going to ever happen to your body. But let me just tell you, folks, our bodies are like cars. Cars are brand new when they start out, just like our bodies are brand new when we were born. But over time, wear and tear will destroy your car and your body. So you have to get a diagnostic every now and then in your car. And you go take your car to a repair place and they do a diagnostic and they tell you, hey, you have this wrong, that wrong with your car. And then you say, okay, I want you to fix all these things you just said. And then they fix your car. And your car run good for another 1 to 2, 3 years. Same thing with your body. You go get some type of screening done. Everything can't be done with screening. I got a genetic test done. I did that genetic test. They sent it to me last week. I finally got it done Monday morning before I went in to have my procedure. That genetic test is going to come back. I think they sent me an email yesterday telling me that they received it, so the results will be ready soon. And that genetic test is going to say, hey, you got this done. You got this with your body. Here's what I see. Oh, I see nothing. I see nothing. XYZ, nothing. That's what I'm hoping the report comes back as. But if the report doesn't come back as that, whatever the report comes back on that genetic test, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not going to sit here and just let disease take me out because I'm too scared to face stuff. It's a lot of people out here scared to face stuff, and I don't understand it. We got to stop being scared of facts and truth and get out here and take care of business and take care of what we need to take care of so we can have some longevity here. Now, if you don't care about dying and don't do anything with your body, and you're going to be sure to pass out real soon one day. So, before the genetic test results came back, I went in and had a procedure done. I wasn't waiting on the results because the doctor said I have the history now because this seems like something that's running in my family. So I'm like, hey, let's do it then. And so here I am, y'all. And I'm feeling very content with my decision. My daughter called me a trailblazer. I don't feel like I blazed any trails. I just felt like I'm not going to keep waking up thinking about mom had this disease and she didn't do anything about it. And every time I get a little pinch in my stomach or my side or my back or this or that, I'm like, oh, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Oh, my God. Oh, I can't live like that. I need to live with a peace of mind, because if your physical health is not good, your mental health is not going to be good. And I don't want to sit around worrying about, do I have this or do I have that, when all I got to do is go take a test and get it checked out. Okay, y'all, I'm going to come back. I said I was going to do a short little talk. This talk is 30 minutes long. I'm kind of on the long-winded side when I have a lot to say. But in due time, I'm going to package my procedure, talk about what my mom died from, and share it with the masses. And so this can help you and your family. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for listening. Love y'all. Bye.